Removing the radio module from the ACE 29.3. It comes with a device for removing it, but I've lost it, like most of you probably have. I use a putty knife, 4-inch wide putty knife. And the first thing you do is remove the trim ring, which comes off pretty easy just with your fingers. Be gentle so you don't break it. And I run one hand up behind the dash till I can find the back of the radio, and then I slip the putty knife between the radio and that shiny metal box that it sits into. Just work the putty knife back in, and you'll feel it kind of push from the back of the radio with your right hand, and you'll feel the radio release. And you go to the other side, do the same thing, and that's it. Comes on out, come on out, and then you can disconnect the wires. To put it back in, you just shove it back in until you hear it click. I don't know if you could hear that. It clicks back in, and then you push the trim ring back on the around it. It's just a push on thing that probably won't work because I'm trying to video it, but that's about all there is to it. One other issue on this radio that I did is quite often people complain about a phantom rattle up in the dash here. There's a stud on the back of this radio module that fits through a hole on a tab on the dash, and sometimes that doesn't do its job and the unit rattles going down the road, or the tab rattles. So when I pulled the radio out one time, I took a die and threaded threads onto that stud, and then I bought a wing nut with that thread on it. So I stick the tab on, there's a hole with the tab, and I stick the threaded rod through that on the back of the radio, and then thread this wing nut onto it, tighten it up by hand through the back of the dash here. It's a little awkward, but once you get it on, it'll eliminate that rattle. I got a question about taking the disconnecting the switching module from the in-dash screen, and whether you had to take the radio out to get to that RCA plug so you could unplug it. It's probably easier to take the radio out, but if you're uncomfortable with it and you have two people, one person can reach up in here and find the back of the radio and the plug-in wires, and another person can go in through the port access on the dash and pull gently on the wire that feeds down here for the video input to the camera, and you can feel which wire it is that they're pulling on, and just unplug that wire, pull straight out the back. That would eliminate you having to pull the radio, but I personally pulled the radio and did it by myself. I thought it was easier.